All right, hello, Doctor Who fans, and welcome to the Who Universe news for today. Of course, we're going to start things off by discussing the overnight figures for the Wild Blue Yonder, because I know some of you are curious. How did Wild Blue Yonder do this past year, the Saturday that just gone? It got 4.83 million on the night of its broadcast, which actually went very well. It got an AI of 83. So as you can tell, Wild Blue Yonder wasn't really as popular. It wasn't that as it wasn't good, but it wasn't considered to the overnight figures. It didn't really attract as much people compared to the Star Beast. But I'm sure this weekend is going to attract a lot of people. And then, of course, the consistent figure for the Star Beast came out just the other day, and it's got a 7.61 million, which means it was the third biggest show, third biggest drama on the BBC that week, which was very good to hear that Starbeast got a lot of attraction on BBC iPlayer since its release, which is really great. We'll see how I would imagine Wild Blue Yonder will do very well in the consistent figures when we get that next week. So that's really good news to hear about Starbeast, and obviously Wild Blue Yonder got an overnight figures of nearly 5 million to basically for its overnight figures. Now, as well as that, we also got images of the Giggle that came out this past week, and I'm only gonna show you probably 3 images from the 24 images that have come out for the Giggle. The ones in particular that were really interesting were the shots between the Doctor and the Toymaker, which kind of resembles the Celestial Toymaker story. If you remember the games that the Doctor and especially if you have seen the final episode of the Toymaker, you'll know about the games between the Doctor and the Toymaker. And then, of course, you've also got a scene that also basically gives away Bonnie Langford. This image right here basically confirms that Bonnie Langford's going to be in the story this weekend, even though they probably weren't meant to reveal it, but it's there. And then of course you've got another scene shows the Doctor and Donna in a sort of a puppet show with the Toymaker, which was a very creepy-ish scene that they've managed to get for the Giggle. So that is some images from the Giggle, and I'll leave a link in the description if you want to see the rest of the images from this upcoming Saturday, or from this Saturday's episode, which will see the 14th Doctor change into the 15th. And speaking of the Giggle, Russell T Davies actually spoke in the brand new Doctor Who magazine, because yes, Doctor Who magazine's just released their Christmas issue this year, which is obviously Ncuti Gatwa as the star of the cover, because of course Ncuti Gatwa will have his first story over Christmas. Well, in this Doctor Who magazine, Russell T Davies talks about a reveal that's going to be happening this weekend that is going to be, he believes is going to be controversial to a lot of Doctor Who fans. He says the following in the Doctor Who magazine, obviously in his little bit in the Doctor Who magazine: there will be a controversial event in the Giggle. If you listen and watch to the commentary on BBC iPlayer, I'll unravel a whole new Doctor Who mythology for you based on the events taking place. I'm explaining this to David Tennant, and his mind is exploding. And then he continues, that commentary will have absolutely exclusive info that will rock the world. I hope you all find it fascinating. It's a whole new way to look at the history of Doctor Who, and I can't wait to see the reaction. So, very interesting that he's now saying there's going to be essentially a whole new Doctor Who mythology for us to look forward to in this weekend story, which I have to wonder what that thing's going to be, and I'm sure we haven't got long to find out, because we're only 3 days out from the story releasing. Now, as well as that, he also talks about the Christmas special and the new series, say that it's going to be more fantasy to Doctor Who, where he says that the show is taking a slower step to fantasy, which is going to annoy those who believe it's a hardcore sci-fi show. And then he mentions that episode 2 of next year's widely fantasy, completely making up of scenarios on screen that we've never been able to show before, which, by the way, Russell T Davies actually confirms in Doctor Who magazine that episode 2 of season 1, which is going to be going out sometime in the spring of 2024, is going to be titled The Devil's Chord. And apparently this is meant to be the episode where the Doctor is supposed to be meeting the Beatles, or at least that's what is being sort of speculated right now, is that he's going to be meeting the Beatles in this story. So this is apparently part of the plan for episode 2 next year, which Russell has basically now confirmed its title name through the Doctor Who magazine. So Devil's Core is going to be one of the stories we're going to be seeing next year with Shooting Gatwa and Millie Gibson during the first half of next year, which I would imagine the new series should be launching around Easter next year. So we should be getting this around probably April time, this story. And then as well as that, we did also get some interviews with Shooty Gatwa. Shooty Gatwa was actually shared. So he kind of sort of talks about his interaction with Millie Gibson on set while he's filming scenes for Ruby Sunday and the Doctor. So he does talk a little bit about that to the world, which is really good to see that there's a lot of interaction between him and Millie Gibson throughout the series. And also another thing we found out is that this year's Christmas special, which is titled The Church on Ruby Road, is going to have a musical number that TV Zone was able to find out. So apparently Shooting Gatwa, Millie Gibson, and the cast of Goblins have basically got a song that is going to be a show-stopping musical number posed by Murray Gold and lyrics been written by Russell T Davis that Davis actually described as a massive musical big band number with music-loving goblins. So apparently that's going to be a thing on Christmas Day. Didn't even know that was a thing. So apparently goblins are going to be a thing. We also have had a bit more synopsis towards the Church on Ruby Road, because this came from Doctor Who magazine today. That says this: the Doctor comes face to face with methodical, mysterious goblins as his life collides with Ruby Sunday. Ruby meets a man called the Doctor, stolen babies and goblins as she attempts to learn the secrets of her birth. Little is known about Ruby as she was abandoned long ago in the snow on Christmas Eve 2004 as a baby. Now, that's another thing you might want to keep in mind, that this took place Christmas Eve 2004, which is a year before the Doctor met Rose, which is something that might come in handy come to Christmas. Now, living with her mom Clara and godmother Cherry, Ruby's world is about to turn upside down when she encounters the Doctor, and the two set off on their first adventure together. Ruby's life will never be the same. So that is what Doctor Who magazine has to say, well, synopsis-wise, is saying about the Church on Ruby Road, which we're going to be witnessing, of course, on Christmas Day at 5:55 p.m. on BBC One and BBC iPlayer. That's the time slot that the Church on Ruby Road's got on Christmas Day, and it's going to follow strictly. Well, it's obviously it'll be airing straight after Strictly on Christmas Day. Those who want to see Shooty Gatwa in his first full story as the new Doctor, going to be fun. I know it will. And just as I was about to edit the Who Universe news, we just had even more. We had a big breaking news just now, and that is the fact that the Celestial Toymaker animation has been announced for a DVD, Blu-ray, and Steelbook case. And this is the description they put out today with an animation teaser, which I'll play at the end of the video, of course. It says this: originally broadcast in April 1966, the Celestial Toymaker sees the Doctor and companions separated, where they come up against the Toymaker. Whilst the Doctor plays the tyrannical game, Steve and Dolo are forced to play similarly childish but ultimately dangerous games in the aim to be reunited and get back to the TARDIS. This brand new animated version has been created using the original audio recording. Now, we do know what's going to be on the disc for this. So disc 1 is going to contain the animations for black and white episodes 1 and 4. There's going to be reconstructions episodes 1 to 3. That's for disc 1 potentially. Disc 4 is going to contain the original 1996 episode newly remastered, really newly restored, which is episode 4, that is. And then there's going to be new audio commentary. And then disc 2 is going to have episodes 1 to 4 in color in animation. Making of the animation: Doctor Who Escape Team First Doctor, Sylvester McCoy's introduction of episode 4 from the original VHS release, photo galleries and PDF materials including camera scripts are all featured as part of this 2-disc Celestial Toymaker release that's going to be coming to DVD and it's coming to DVD and Blu-ray and Steelbook case. We haven't got an official release date yet, because obviously they've only just announced this animation, so obviously we have to wait a little while until we get a proper release date. I'm hoping it's not going to be too far off until the release happens, but the running time is going to be 1 hour 35 minutes in total, which is very exciting. So yeah, it won't be long until we'll be able to get the very first Toymaker story, thanks to the help of animation that's going to finally bring the story back to life, and we'll be able to finally watch the story finally in 2024, which is going to be great. So let me know in the comment section if you're thinking about getting the Celestial Toymaker next year. I'm very excited about the fact that we're finally going to get this story added to our collections, even though I still need to get the Underwater Menace DVD, but we'll get round to it. But nevertheless, Celestial Toymaker will be the next animated story reconstruction that we're going to be seeing, the first one to be released in 2024 following the Underwater Menace, as we celebrate the very first Toymaker story following his return in the 60th anniversary, which is going to be great. So so that is it really. And again, as a reminder, Shooting At was going to be on the Graham Norton show next Friday at 10:40. Also, Shirley Bassey is due to make an appearance in Doctor Who next year. I'll mention that there. And hopefully we'll be seeing some more Doctor Who interviews leading up to Christmas. But until then, I'll catch you guys in my review on Saturday of The Giggle. See you then.
Remember the past, your little adventures. Remember my power.
What's this extraordinary place? Looks crazy to me.
Now in the world, Celestial Toymaker is a power for evil.
I've been waiting for you a long time.
What game is it you want me to play?
This, a game for the mind, Doctor, the developed mind.
I offer you power. Power to corrupt, to destroy. Think of the exhilaration of that power.
Make your last move, Doctor. Make your last move.